Good afternoon, YouTube. This is my second recording of this because I just played back the first one and it was the tale of I lost count of how many times I went tell me off if I do it on this one, okay? On a previous video I said that I would be making some paper buttons, and I I promised I'd show you how I make them. So this is that video, and I'm very conscious I'm going to say These are some that I've already made. Obviously a square one. You can see, yeah, you can see the holes on my head, look. Ta-da! Oh, how many times I've been playing around with fabric on as well, just to reinforce the paper actually, because this was starting to get a little bit, I guess, when obviously when you're stitching you are basically punching holes, and I can see, putting that up to the camera, I can see quite a few holes in that, so it does make them a little bit weaker. I've also done round ones. Count them, tell me how many I've done at the end, and some more square ones with some more fabric on. That was a nice one. That was a flowery fabric on that one. And I've got somewhere in this craft room a 1/16 of an inch hole punch, which makes perfect buttonholes. I can't find them, unfortunately. I thought they were here. I've asked my daughter because I know she borrowed it at one point, but she's had a look and she can't find it either. So I've had to resort to using my very old eyelet setter plier things. They're fine. They make a hole, and it's working fine, so that's all good. So I'm having to use that. Hopefully they'll turn up at some point. I don't know where they are. So I'm going to, I nearly said it, I'm going to angle you down now, and so that you can see what I'm doing. How many times? Right, hold tight. Sorry, this is going to be a laugh, isn't it? There we are. Okay, you can see my sewing machine bed now. I've got my free motion foot on. I don't know if you could do it with a normal foot, I'll be honest, but obviously give it a go. I find free motion embroidery a lot easier, because you can move it around wherever you want to move it, basically. So, do I recommend using fabric? I think it's up to you, really. I think you can color match if you're doing, if you're doing these in a journal. You can use lace, obviously. I mean, lace would look lovely, but it's up to you, I'll be honest with you. These that I mean, I just, as you can tell, just slapped paint on these. I wasn't too fussy. I was just really worried. I really wanted to cover up the pictures, so I went very heavy because they were car mechanic bits. So, but I've been finding the splodges quite useful because there's one here. This round one that I did, I deliberately made sure that the splodge was in the middle. You can see the holes there. Okay, so just place it wherever. So what I've been doing with the fabric, this is it's 1" by 1.5". So if you're making a square one, obviously if you're doing a circle you've got a circle, but with the square one, I've actually, probably with the circle one, I'd probably cut the middle out as well, like I'm going to do here. So fold it into quarters, okay, and then you just need to snip out the middle, because otherwise you're not going to be able to paper punch. I wonder if would you have something that would go through fabric? I suppose a crocodile would, but that would leave quite big holes. But see, so yeah, you need to end up with something like that. I'll just put it on there and you can see it a bit better. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick square one just to show you roughly what to do. It's by no means is it hard. I've see right, I'm just going to bring you a bit closer. I've got my machine on a very small zigzag. As I say, the feed dogs are dropped. Free motion foot is on. I've got it on a zigzag size 3. I'm finding that is filling it in a lot easier. It said again. So can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, roughly. Yeah, I think you can see fair enough there, right? So I'm just going to fairly quick speed. Just going to go around the aperture. You don't have to. I mean, you know, it's a paper button at the end of the day. You don't, and you fill this in as much as you want to. Leave as much of the fabric showing or not. It's up to you. And that's it, basically. Like I say, it's not hard. So release the presser foot, snip that off there. It hasn't seemed to matter what colour thread I use on the back. It's it's not pulling it through. I must have I must have the tension about right. So okay, then what I have been doing is emptying all my partial bobbins. So I've now got loads of bobbins, which is fantastic. To cut them out, you can either cut them straight, it's up to you. I did that one with just straight round the edges, but I've been liking the zigzag edges. If I put it there, you can see, there we are. All right, I've been quite liking the zigzaggy edges, so I've got out my decal edge scissors, Fiskars, had them for like ever, and literally chomp around. I use these on all sorts. I mean, just as page decorations in your junk journals, perfect. You can use them on your snippets, you know, whatever you want to do, I'll be honest with you. So I'm just going to punch 2 holes now. You don't even have to really punch the holes. You could easily sew through this. There are about 3, what have we got? This is very thin paper, this though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But it is just such thin, weak paper that it's not quite, is it? I suppose, yeah, it's a thin cardstock, I would imagine you would call that. So that's that. And then you have, there's the holes, a very snazzy button. So to do a circle, it's exactly the same, but you just go around in a circle. Let me just do this one. That's slightly thicker, this one. So to make a circle, it's going to be more of an oval rather than a circle. Trim the edges. I say fold it into quarters. If you've got the Sizzix, I've got some circles. You could you could cut out proper circles, and obviously just cut out like that and like that. Let me just put that there against my t-shirt, you see, okay. And then, like magic, when you unfold it, I mean, you know, it's not perfect, it doesn't have to be. Oh, I've just knocked all my bobbins over, joy. Okay, so same again. I'm going to slow it down slightly on this one. I want to go a little bit more careful on the circle. I'm just going to go around the outside. You could stick the fabric down first if you wanted to. Stop it jumping around. Once the outside's on, the inside will be easy. So I'm just going to go around again, speed up a little bit. Sometimes when you're doing free motion, the faster you go, the easier it actually is. Right, so I've gone around the outside twice. I've got a stab stitch on mine. I do it just to stop it all unravelling, basically. So just chop that off there. I'm going to go around the inside as well. So I've done the outside, if you can just see that. So I'm now just going to go around the inside bit. Slow it down slightly. It's always a little bit, you always have to go a little bit slower in a circle. But I like the effect that the zigzag gives when you're doing free motion. I mean, if you had it on straight stitch, you could just go round and round and round and literally just keep going. But I'm quite liking the effect that a zigzag is giving. Okay, here we are. Got paper, threads, everything everywhere. What a very strange day today. I seem to have done loads, but not done loads, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Very odd. There we are, all stitched on. So again, with the decal edge scissors, I just chop round there. I have to be quiet when I'm cutting. Usually the tongue's out, so I'm glad my face isn't in screen at the moment. It's not, is it? No, good. We counted the ums. It annoys me when I watch videos and people... There was one that I used to watch and she used to literally, the word literally, I think I counted it about 120 times once. And in the end I had to stop watching it. So there we are. Ooh, where's the hills? There they are. Okay, so you got a nice little round button. And as I say, if you're using them in your junk journals, you imagine if that was a fabric that you had on your journals, that would be really lovely. And just on a snippet, let's pretend that's a snippet. So let's pretend that we had jiggly flat here, and then you put that on there. See, it'd be lovely, wouldn't it? So I really like using them, I must admit. Right, that's that. Hold tight, I'm just going to put you back up. Oh, okay, there we are. I can't wait to get my hair cut. I'm supposed to be having it done next Friday, but obviously I won't be because it's all cancelled. So it's all going a bit mad at the moment. Right, I've got bobbins everywhere now. Look, how many lovelies. Okay, I haven't forgotten that I'm doing the step by step on the bird wall hanging. That will be my next video. I have got work. What the heck's that? Oh, it's next door. I wonder what it was. I've got work tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, and even though I'm working from home, at the time I sign off at 4 o'clock, my head's done in. So I don't think I'll be doing many videos. Probably again on Friday. Yeah, Friday. I might feel like it. I don't know. We'll see. Just want to give you a quick update on the two that I've done. Try and get the whole thing in. I'll move it back there. That's the whole thing. So that's the one with the agapanthus and the blue flower, obviously. Okay, I'll bring you in for a close-up now. I did just try and get the light out of it. I did some pistol stitch, hand stitching on the lace here, heavily embroidered the blue one, and I went over the beige, the ones that were sinking into the background. I went over those with free motion. It's really made them jump out lovely. Went over the pink agapanthus, and more hand stitching here with the pistol stitch. Did the stems of the plants as well, so it's all really come out now, so it looks lovely. And then I'm trying to angle it so the light doesn't catch it too much. Some more hand stitching here, the pastel stitch. These the lacy flowers, I didn't set them right back, and I stuffed the middles with felt, so they're all different colours in the middle. I thought that was quite pretty. And oh, sorry, and I did some cross stitch. Is that going to focus? No. Okay, there's a green cross stitch on here. I don't know about you, but when I went to school, I learnt to do hand stitching on gingham fabric because it was perfect for cross stitch practice. Heavily embroidered the flower there. So just did my usual zigzag binding on the edge, which has gone really well actually. A nice blue spotty fabric for the holder. And then I did the dowel and the beads on the end, and this is a piece of sari silk which I've over stitched with a zigzag to turn it into a hanging twine, basically, for want of a better word. So there it is, all in its all glory. And this is the little hair. Oh, I'll come back a bit, see the whole thing. Okay, I did go in with free motion embroidery on the flowers here. I found some brads, dragonfly brads, so put those on because they were purple, so it matched lovely. I did go around the hair in the end because when I'd done this, it didn't look right, so I made him pop out a bit. I did the gold leaves down here, another purple dragonfly brad that I found. I free motioned on this as well because again, when I'd done all this, it needed it. It had to be done. And then there's the lilac-y beady trim there, and then the crochet lace down here. I did swap these flowers over. I think initially that one was going to go there, but that just looks better to me. It's all about the balance. So it's on its little hanger. There we are. And I just did a green fabric on the back, and it's made it really nice and stable actually. So very happy. It's a little diddy one that, well, it's not diddy, but what did I measure? 6 inches by overall just about 15 inches tall, that one. What size was the other one? Mm, 9.5 by 21, so that's a lot bigger obviously. So that's those, they're done. I will put, oh, I nearly said it, I'll put those in my Susie Q Makes shop on Etsy. I hope you're counting the ums because I'm going to be taking notes at the end. I've got another project here somewhere. Where have you gone? Ah, there you are. I forgot to put well, I didn't forget. I didn't put the tags in the big junk. Oh, I don't know what am I going to call them. The gel printed journals. That's the word. So I'm going to make a tag book. Okay, they're great fun to work in. I'm not going to line all the pages. That's for other people to put their artwork in. I will be including make some pockets and put these little tags in there because I found those again. And this is going to be the cover. This is one that I did last time, which I think is quite good fun. Obviously, you know, there'll be fabric and stuff on there. It's not going to go out looking like that, that's for sure. That was done at the last session. I haven't used my big one yet, which is just, you know, I need to. I'm desperate to, actually, to be fair. So I think that's everything. I've been out for a cycle ride today. Been a good girl. Just dropped down some parcels down at the garage. That's only about 1.5 miles down the road, and they've got one of those parcel drop-off things. So I wore my plastic gloves. I was a good girl. Come back, wash my hands. But it was nice. It was a lovely day. It's a beautiful day. I don't know what's going on with the weather. I mean, it's never like this at Easter in Devon. It's usually pouring with rain, to be honest. But it is beautiful. Yeah, and the streets are empty. It's great. Everybody is being very, very good and staying away. I know the police were stopping a lot of people on the M5 and getting them off at junction 26, I think it is, which I think is the one before Taunton. and stopping them coming down, basically, because everybody was heading here for the Easter weekend, which, you know, we love having visitors. Don't get me wrong, this area, you know, Devon does rely on um, holidaymakers and things. You know, I'm not denying we need them, but we don't need the virus spreading down here. We've got a lot of old people, as I've said before, and you know, my friend in Sidmouth is going mad. She said they're still coming down, and there's so many nursing homes and old people's homes in Sidmouth. You know, they're just making people incredibly vulnerable to this, and it's so blooming sad. But anyway, our Prime Minister's recovered by the looks of it, old Boris, thank goodness. So that's all good, because it is affecting men a lot, isn't it? Which is, you know, it's good for us, but it's not good for the men. Bless them. Okay, I think that's everything. As I say, I've not forgotten about the bird wall hanging. We will get on and do that together. I wanted to get those paper buttons done to show you how to do those, because they are really good fun. I don't know if anybody else has ever done them. If they have, then fine. I'm not the inventor then, but I don't know. I don't know who else has done them. I've not seen them. I don't know. I think that's everything. I had a good tidy up today. This room was getting a mess. I could hardly walk across the floor. I had so many boxes out. I think that's everything. Yeah, I'm gonna go have my dinner because I'm starving. Okay, lovely. Like I said, I don't know how many I'll do this week. Probably going to be Friday now. I'm desperate to use my big gel plate, so I might get on and do something on there. But we will do the bird one first. Susan, behave. Okay, lovely. Thanks ever so much. Thank you. Thank you to my new subscribers. It's going to drive me nuts. How many ums? Lovely. Thanks ever so much, people. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.